And this next one is just going to be me shamelessly going out and playing with my Leander a little bit. I just got the boat, Tier 6, and it's actually wonderful. It's night and day compared to the Emerald. I actually quit playing the British CL line just because I hated the Emerald so much. And it's probably been about half a year, maybe three-quarters of a year, and now I'm actually starting to enjoy myself. So this is great, and I'm actually seeing this matchmaking a lot more in Game 2, which is just 5s and 6s, which I feel is a lot more fair. And I'm slightly jealous because I didn't have that when I was grinding my ass up, but it's still good to see anyway for the new players. Now this is a carrier game. Luckily, there's only one. Both of them are Bogues, which is also good, because the Japanese carriers are just kind of superior in the hands of a skilled player. So both have Byrons, they both have New York's complete mirror match. I do not appreciate being interrupted game. Pensacola is also a mirror match. Likely Sonora also a mirror match, and Nuremberg's. They just have me versus an Alba. Alba's better at long range, I'm better at close range. Omaha and Kirov, yeah. And they have 4 DDs, a Farragut, an Icarus, and Minikaze. Two Ikarai. Ikarai, yes. That would be a decent way to refer to them. Now, Leander works best as a destroyer escort slash close support for them. You want to get in nice and close and use your smoke and your very nice AP guns in order to kill destroyers. Now, most people don't use AP against destroyers because it tends to overpin. Not in the British CLs. The British CLs can only fire AP, but they tend to have much lower fuse times, which means that the shells have to go through less material in order to actually explode. And that means far less overpins on lightly armored things, and you can actually use them fairly reliably against destroyers. And it does so very well. Obviously, it's not as good at dealing with battleships, but your role intends you to be a destroyer escort and kill the other destroyers, not battleships. So if you're trying to do your job, then you shouldn't have many problems with your guns. So I'm going down here to the middle because that tends to be where a lot of DDs congregate. And I'm also trying not to go out through here because this is going to be a shooting gallery. They have BBs, and BBs are not good again for a Leander. You're very squishy in a... well, you're squishy in all cruisers, but you're especially squishy in a British one. Now I see the Alba, and we'll try and get some early citadels. So I fire once, wait until they fire, turn in, and I smoke. Because that DD is right there, and he will be able to see exactly where the enemies are using his spotting. And I spot the Minikaze. Once again, your role as a British CL is to kill destroyers. Sadly, he gets around there before I can actually hit him with more than one shell. And the Farragut comes too, and that's even better. So I'm just going to sit in the smoke, and I'm just going to hurl shells at enemies. Now, we're going to pause real quick. You can't turn when you pause. Interesting. But right there, you see the torps. That's why I backed up, right there. Because these things would come in here to the side of my smoke screen. That Minikaze thought I was going to come out and try and get an angle to shoot at him some more. Luckily, I am intelligent, and I didn't do that. And this island right here will block his torps from hitting me. So I go ahead and throw my torps out too, just in case, because I expect the Minikaze is going to try and turn out as soon as he gets his second set of torps off. So we go ahead and nail him a few times. Now you have 8 guns on this, and that does a pretty good amount of DPS against these guys, or DPM, I guess. Yeah, DPM would be more appropriate. And notice how many pins I'm getting against destroyers. That's due to the slow fuse time. And now he actually grounds himself. And seals his fate. Now try and going up a little bit because the smoke screen still has 30 seconds left, as you can see from this icon right here. Sadly, the Costa smokes, and so does everyone else, so I don't really have anything to go on, so I decided to go follow him. Because they mostly always spam their torps at them, so I have a little bit at least. And there we go, I can now spot the Farragut. And I'm going to fire my front guns. Remember, just because you can't shoot your guns full broadside doesn't mean that your front guns are useless. And I see a lot of players do that. They think that they always have to put on their... Nope. It cost us a torp. Unfortunate, but that's what happens when you are in smoke. And smokes are torp magnets. Everyone's going to fire torps into them to try and get you exactly like that. So there we go. I killed the Farragut. Now that means they can't spot me. As you can see, on there, no exclamation point. So I'm going to come down here to help these guys. Mostly because the site is kind of collapsing and the BBs went south. And it's a good thing I did because someone's trying to cap. That Legala Senor is coming. I'm waiting until he turns broadside to try and get all of his guns on me. Sadly, he doesn't. And I go to the front. Yep, there's Icarus. And now I know that he's probably fired torps at me, so I turn in this way. And now he's going broadside again. And luckily, his torp tubes don't turn around quick enough to actually shoot at me. That's actually the way you take main armaments 1 and DDs a lot, is just to get your torp tubes moving quicker. Or was it dispersion? It might have been dispersion. Well, one of them do. There we go, the Legala Senor is now on broadside, so I can finally start peppering him with AP. Yep, and as you can see, there's quite a few pins here too. Not citadels, they don't penetrate that far, but you can get a good amount of pins. And as you can see, almost all their DDs are already dead and we've only lost one. That means I'm doing my job. So yep, I set my smoke screen so I can't get peppered by him, because I would rather not get killed by French AP, that would be embarrassing. So I'm just going to sit my merry ass right here and just farm. And there's a torp. Luckily, I think that was from the Alba, and the Alba was about 10 kilometers away, so we can't actually get torps that far. They have really long legs, but not that long. There we go. I don't really see anything else at the moment, so I go ahead and leave my smoke screen. Because once again, they have no DDs, which means that I'll probably be the best spotter. Not spotter. I'll probably have the best concealment, so I'll be able to engage on my terms. There we go, start shooting at the Alba again, since I can do over the island. And since I'm behind the island, that means I'm not spotted by him. I'll go over that in the concealment module a little later. There we go, we get 2 citadels. I'm trying to do a little more, but he sadly turns out, so we only get an overpin. And now this is the part I die at. Well, in a minute. First I had to pick off this Alba, but then I get greedy and I try and kill the last DD on their team, and it kind of leads to my death. Which is unfortunate, but that's okay. As you can see, we're snowballing this hardcore. As much as I'd like to remain alive, it isn't going to be super important, considering my allies can just mop up afterwards. I really did want the Kraken, though. But sadly, it was not to be. Now, German HE actually penetrates very well, but it doesn't do that much damage. Because that was 9 guns right there. And as you can see, it's not doing especially much. I'm not worried about the fire because I can repair 100% of the damage. And now I see that the DD is turning back over here. Yep, see, now he's angled, so I can't really do much damage to him. Because while your AP may be good, it also is pretty low caliber, so you can't overmatch the Nuremberg, sadly. So, I decided to break off line of sight using this island right here and bid him adieu. Well, that'd be more appropriate if I was in a French cruiser, but you know. There we go. There's the Icarus, and I immediately pop Hydro to spot his torps, but he's trying to smoke up, so I decided to go in after him. Now, this is called Hydro Rushing, where you trigger Hydro Search and you just jump in and start shooting at the DD as soon as you see it. Like that. Now, he can see me from other people spotting, but if nobody was spotting me, then I would actually be able to see him and he would be able to see me. Now he's using this little single file torp things, but luckily I am faster than the torps, so I don't need to worry about them. And now this is the part where I start shooting really badly. Probably because I'm worried about torps. Yep, see. Right there is probably where I lost it. Because that Nuremberg is over there just hammering me. Yep, see. Very bad shooting. It took about 3 volleys to take him out, and that was way too long. So I do that, but sadly, my heal won't be able to actually save me from that volley right there. So yeah, I smoked up too late. I really wanted to kill a Nuremberg for the Kraken, though. Which is unfortunate. But it happens. But I did manage to pull 68k damage, plenty of spotting, 90 shell hits, a Confederate, and a couple Citadels. So all in all, it was a pretty good Leander game. If it didn't derp super hard on the gunnery back there, then it would have gone better. But that's alright. After all, it's what learning the ship's for.